Hello everybody, welcome to the second episode of Life in a Week, where I will be trying to become a great artist. Now this is only day one, but I have already managed to get some equipment for my artwork. We've got a canvas to do my work on, and then some oil paintings and oil pastels, and then there's acrylic paint, and acrylic pastels, and also pencils. So I feel like I've got all the kit that I need, now I just need to learn how to use it. I feel like one of those kids on their first day of school, where they have all the kit, all the accessories that they need, but they have no idea how to use them, or even what they're called. Okay, so there's so many different types of art. So I've decided that I'm going to go with abstract impressionism, and that's for no other reason than the most expensive arts in the world are that style. So if I get this right, it could be in the money. Now this unfortunately means that I will not be getting tutorials from the great man Bob Ross. However, I will be going into detail onto how abstract expressionism works and why it's so sought after and expensive. The first bit of artwork that I'm interested in is Interchange by Willem de Kooning. Now this piece of artwork is worth $300 million, but interestingly the artist only sold it for $4,000 when he first made it, so he didn't know the potential that the artwork had at the time. Now the next bit of artwork is called Number 6, and that's by Mark Rothko. This was made in 1951, and as you can see it's very basic. There's only about 3 or 4 colours that you can see obviously on there, but immediately you can tell that it wasn't drawn by a child. It's quite obviously shaded in quite well. Caroline Bazan from Mozart says, "The entire piece is a warmth and emotional expression that is a delight to see." Now I kind of get the warmth. All the colours there are quite warm, and clearly there is some sort of expression there. I don't know what the expression is though. So there's something underneath there that I'm not quite seeing yet, but we'll dig deeper. Now it's pretty important to note at this stage, which I've just noticed, is both of those paintings were oil paintings on canvas, so maybe that's the way to go. If both of these paintings are worth millions, and they're both done in the same way, maybe that's the way I should be doing it. Now the last abstract expressionism that I'd like to look at is one by Jackson Pollock, and it's called Number 17A. I'm not a big fan of the names actually, so we had Number 6 before, and this one's now Number 17A. You would have thought they could have come up with something a bit more interesting than those. Well, unless actually the numbers do mean something. I mean, the fact that it's number 17A kind of gives you the impression that this isn't the first time it's been attempted, and it took 16 attempts, maybe more, to get to this. Maybe that's giving you an impression that because it looks so random, but it's the attempt number 17, so there has to be some sort of method going on there. It's interesting. I'm still not getting the point of what they're trying to do, so hopefully the next day I'll be able to work out why Jackson Pollock's went for 200 million and my squiggle will probably not go for anything. After a day of research, I've come to more conclusions about why abstract expressionism is so valuable. So imagine that you have an artist, and the artist is so good at drawing objects that they look like pictures. They're amazing. And all the other artists start catching up with this person. So at some point, all the artists are so good at drawing objects that there's no improving. Abstract expressionism wants to access the subconscious part of the brain. It wants you to have a feeling or an emotion without you realizing why you're feeling that or seeing an object that gives you that emotion. So it's a really tough thing to try and master. So now's the time for thinking, and hopefully I'll be putting paintbrush to canvas soon. So here I am, the moment of truth has begun. I'm about to start the painting. So I've had a little bit of a think about what I'm going to do, and essentially what I am going to do is take inspiration from Pollock on what he did with his artwork. So the way he did it was, he didn't want to think about what he was doing. The best way to communicate with someone else's subconscious mind is to do so subconsciously. So I'm going to try to not think about what I'm drawing, and we'll see what comes through. So this is how the painting has gone so far. So what I've done essentially is I've just let my mind just think about what it wants to do. I didn't really pick the colours. It's what I felt like I wanted to paint. There's nothing specific, and I wasn't trying to think about what I was drawing. But I've ended up with this browny, reddy shade into the dark and then out into blue. I'm going to let this dry and then continue. Well, after a few days of toiling away, this is the finished product. So this is it. This is the artwork that I have created. You can see the three sort of different colours with a streak of lightness going through the middle. It truly was my subconscious drawing this. I just allowed myself to flow and do what my subconscious wanted me to do next. So in that, I'm pretty pleased that I managed to come out with something like this. Now, I've been trying to think about what makes my work unique, because Jackson Pollock, his work was drip painting, which was wholly unpopular at the time, but because it was such a unique and new way of doing things, that's why his artwork was so valuable. So I was thinking, what's so unique about this? Well, the reason in my mind that it's unique is that it was done by someone who wasn't an artist. So I'm not very good at art, and I've hardly ever done art. So I believe there was less distracting me from entering my subconscious mind and drawing something like this. So in that way, I believe I'm unique, and this artwork is unique. So we have the unconscious mind, and we also have a unique selling point. But I still might have to wait 50 years before this artwork is valuable, just as many of the other great artists did. I think I'll call it number one.